Welcome back to day 6 of the Doing All the Things challenge. I am Kate, and when you think my sleep couldn't get any worse, it can. So last night, after making all that improvement, I got a whopping 3 hours and 25 minutes, but it does not help when you have helicopters going back and forth from the army base to who knows where until like 1 a.m., 1:30 in the morning, sounding like this. Despite such a lack of sleep, I was still up early and on my walk this morning, and while it may appear as if I made good time, that is actually only because at some point I turned off my walking tracker and realized it, thankfully, not too much further after that, and turned it back on. So at least the 2 miles were calculated, but there is a chunk of that missing. That's why it's such great time. Now, as much as I don't want to share this video, I'm going to share some of me doing Pilates. This is one of my favorite exercises in Pilates. It's the single leg circles, I believe. That's what it's called, but that is one of my favorite ones. Day 6 and another 19-hour, 50, almost 20 hours again. And yes, a clean fast, meaning I only had tea and water, and I'm going to break it. It's just been kind of a simple breakfast week. Usually I feel like I'm a bit more extravagant with my omelets and veggies, but pretty simple again today. Scrambled eggs, 2 scrambled eggs with cheese, and I think like probably 4 pieces of bacon today. Testing today a little differently. It is 11:25. I've already worked out. I actually just broke my fast like maybe 10 minutes ago. But look at the difference. So I would say probably here in the large, not there, but definitely. No, I do think it's this one. So a bit further into ketosis. Yay. It feels like it took forever this time. All right, everyone. So this is where the real challenge begins, because I decided last week that I was going to book 2 getaways this month, one this weekend, one in 2 weeks, here in Cripple Creek, Colorado. Now, Cripple Creek, Colorado is a gambling city. They've got casinos, free drinks. I'm very accustomed to drinking those drinks while I'm here gambling and staying for a couple of nights. So I initially thought it wasn't going to be an issue. In my mind, I said, I'm going to go to the sauna, I'll go to the swimming pool, I'll eat, I'm going to gamble, but I'm not going to drink. And I got up here and walking through the casino, it was just like, oh, let's get a drink. No, we're not doing that. So I came up to the room, immediately went to go eat dinner so that I could start my next fast sooner rather than later. And let me share with you my dinner really quick. It was so good. They went ahead and instead of a Cobb with chicken, they put salmon on there. And that's at least, I want to say 3 more veggies, plants we get to add to the list, because we've got an English cucumber. I think that's arugula. I may not be saying that right. And then those little grape tomatoes. So those get to be added to the list. I'll update that at some point. But dinner was delicious. And then I wanted to show you too, I think I had 2 of those red glasses of water, and I did not finish all that dressing, because that's a big thing, right? The dressing's just full of calories and carbs, so did not finish that. But just wanted to point out, so this is where the real challenge begins, because kind of already feeling tempted, and a lot of that is just because it's such a habit when I come up here, you know, hey, I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna gamble. But if I'm gonna be completely honest and vulnerable, the last time I came up here, I drank too much, and I tend to take the bus up here. It's just, I don't have a car anyway, so take the bus. And they have a dedicated bus that brings you from Colorado Springs to Cripple Creek, but either which way, I drank too much. And I ended up throwing up on the bus, and I didn't have enough time to run to the bathroom. So I basically was like throwing up on myself. But again, this goes back to, what is your why? My why was because, like, what the heck am I doing? Like, that's not behavior I'm okay with or comfortable with. I was very embarrassed of that behavior. And granted, thankfully it wasn't a lot, because again, I was fasting at that time, so I hadn't eaten in a few hours. It was mainly just fluid coming out, and not a lot of it. But it's still the fact that I allowed that to happen. So I'm going to make a very, very strong decision, and I'm going to choose to remain sober while I'm here as part of this challenge as well, more importantly. So I just wanted to update you on the circumstances. I've got all day tomorrow, and then I'll leave at some point on Sunday. So this is the environment, where I'm gonna be. And then not only that, maintaining, but as you can see, I'm incorporating additional plans by being up here. And I want to touch on a couple of things, right? Because there are some goals I listed that I'm not hitting, right? Like my sleep goal, holy cow, I haven't hit that once yet, and we're 6 days in. And the eat at home goal or cook at home every day, obviously that's not going to happen with me not being at home for 2-3 days or 4 days this month, really. So it's really about adjusting those goals. And I want to point out with the sleep, like, I really make a valid effort. I get into bed at 8:30 or 9, and I'm not on my phone until 1 or 2 a.m. I'm trying to sleep. I'm doing deep breathing. I'm really just trying to sleep. So I think when it comes to these goals and this challenge, we really have to just look at it from a standpoint of, as long as I am doing my best to reach these goals, that is what's important, right? So going back to, for example, cooking at home, that's not going to happen. So as long as I maybe do my best to do it while I am at home, then that, so give yourself grace. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be kind of messy and here and there. And something else I wanted to point out, though, which is really cool, I have never seen my heart rate variability, the HRV on the Apple Watch. I have never seen it as high as it read today, which was 75. So again, going back to those changes internally that we don't see, but stuff's going on, and to see that number increase, I mean, usually for me it's like in the 20s. That really makes me feel proud that, okay, whatever I'm doing is working. So thank you, Apple. Thank you, Apple Watch, because I wouldn't know these things, just like that huge drop in my heart rate. And by the way, it's still around 58. So that's consistent with the behaviors I'm currently implementing. And that should really give reason for me to not drink, right? That should help lessen the temptation while I'm here. But wanted to update you guys with everything for day 6 of the Doing All the Things challenge. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start checking off our list. No alcohol, no weed, no cigarettes. I did my 2-mile walk despite sleeping only 3 some odd hours. I did Pilates. Ooh, hopefully I'll increase the income. I'm not going to check that quite yet, but hopefully. As you can see, I can add an additional 3 plants to that goal of 30 for the week. I did fast for almost 20 hours today. Completed that 36-hour fast over last weekend. Definitely ate lower carb. I did my 1 minute of mindfulness earlier. Cannot check that sleep one quite yet. Yay, I'm posting. And I did work my shift. Definitely going to drink a minimum of 3 bottles of water. I actually acquired a bunch of bottles and brought them up here with me to my room as well. And as far as the tea, I'm definitely going to ask for some tea bags so that I can just have those and still maintain that goal as well. Definitely going to close my Apple rings today. I think I have 1 stand hour left, and it's 5:30 p.m. And I'm kind of torn on the cook at home daily because I did cook breakfast. I just didn't cook dinner at home. So I guess I will just leave that one unchecked. Obviously, I don't think I put much thought into that goal, but I did post my Kate Hart for the day, so definitely checking that one. Challenge. I'm sure I had a bunch more. I did record a like a full 20 minutes of Pilates, but I'm not going to share all that. I recorded some of the beautiful mountains on the bus ride up here. But I want to keep this video a bit shorter and make sure it can get uploaded on this Wi-Fi as well. But hey, thank you guys for, showing up today, checking in. Again, subscribe to stay updated. I will be weighing in, I think I said Monday, but now I'm wondering Sunday anyway. And again, just to see all these cool changes. And if you're participating in this challenge, please chime in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. I really want to know too, what's one thing you miss right now? If you are participating, say you're doing low carb, what's one thing you miss? Or if you're not smoking, you're like, man, I miss my cigs, or you're not drinking, oh, I miss this. Let me know down in the comments one thing you miss. One thing I miss, I mean, being up here right now, I really would like to have a drink, but I will choose to be sober instead. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow for day 7.